What's up, everyone? How's it going? And welcome to the first episode of our brand new podcast, the Poke Podcast. My name is Poke Dean.
And I am Poke Chloe.
And today we have got a lot of stuff to talk about. But first and foremost, we kind of want to just speak about the reason for doing this, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So obviously you'll know most of us. I'm obviously Poke Chloe, Poke Dean. We do a lot of streaming. We do box breaks. And we've done a lot of collaborations together. But when we're box breaking and doing all that sort of stuff, we can't really talk too much about anything else that's going on. We might, discuss briefly certain topics and we'll respond to things in the chat, but there are times when we want to go into more detail about hot topics, things that have happened, our collections, what we're doing personally with everything in the hobby. So we decided that a podcast would probably be the best place to start, and we made an Instagram, TikTok. We're going to be putting out, feelers to you guys so you guys can send us your suggestions, because we want to make it relevant. We want to do everything on topic, and obviously we can talk about things in the past, etc., but just in general we want to make it exciting for you guys, and we thought a podcast was a nice relaxed kind of setting and vibe, whereas in a box break it's full on, we're opening packs and it's just like there's no time to do a lot of other stuff, so we thought a podcast was the best place to start, really.
And also we kind of, as you just mentioned, we come from like different kind of walks of life in terms of getting into collecting. And like you said, when we're doing our box breaks or doing videos, not all the time we can speak about that sort of stuff. So it's also really cool where we hope that we kind of bounce off each other and give different kind of like perspectives on certain things in the hobby, whether it's collecting, because obviously Chloe has been a like hardcore collector for the last couple of years. I've been more of a casual, but love YouTube, and I've actually wanted to become more of a serious collector, where we kind of just have different like entries into the hobby, but we have the same amount of passion. So hopefully with this podcast, we can kind of just have a place where we can just talk. It's not every day just open packs, blah, 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 where we might do a pack opening on here and maybe a box break in the future. As you can see,
we've got some props.
Yeah, we've got a lot of boxes in front of us, which we're going to talk about later on in the podcast. But hopefully this is just a really cool space where you guys are going to enjoy us kind of just talking about stuff, as Chloe mentioned, that is relevant. We got some really cool stuff we want to speak about. But I guess saying how we've come into the hobby in different sort of ways, maybe it's kind of like a nice little way we can start this first episode of our podcast and kind of give like a background of ourselves. So explain where we came in. So
okay, so I'll start. So basically, I collected Pokemon as a kid, etc. Loved it, and then grew out of it. So middle of primary school, as I got into secondary school. So then rediscovered my cards. That was how I got back into it. I rediscovered cards that had been stored away by parents, etc. And then after that, I slowly started purchasing in small quantities, things that sort of I would have played with when I was a kid, etc. And then that's where I started discovering other areas of the hobby. So then I just kept going with it, and then one thing led to another. I started an Instagram, YouTube, and it all just sort of took off from there. And like you said, I have been quite hardcore with my collecting, so I've pretty much gone full force with it.
Jumped in the deep end.
I put a lot into it, but now, as if you don't follow my YouTube and you've come here from Dean's channel, I quit my job to do all of this full time. So I have my own TCG store. So that is like when people say, "Oh my God, you've quit your job to go full time," it's not because I want to do YouTube. I would love to do YouTube full time, and obviously YouTube is part of it. That's not the only reason. So I want to build an entire store. I've already got my TCG store. What that's going to look like in the future, whether it will be a physical store, whether it will just be the online store that grows. That's kind of where I'm going with it, or where I'm aiming to go with it. Obviously building the YouTube as well, doing more box breaks. Obviously we've got some boxes here in front of us, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but obviously I've done vintage WotC breaks, and again that sort of relates back to cards I would have collected and how I got into the hobby. So that is kind of where you're at from.
Well, for me personally, I have been on YouTube for what is probably feels like 6-7 years, and I actually originated from doing FIFA videos with my good friend Mav, but I'd say in the last 2 years, actually I remember as a kid, I probably should go from all the way back. Just like you, just like everyone who's watching this, I've literally been collecting as a kid, but there was that period where I can't remember exactly. I feel like I don't really remember that much Neo. I feel like I might have stopped just after is it Team Rocket was the
Team
last?
Rocket,
Maybe
yeah.
Team Rocket. I do remember collecting Japanese Neo, but I don't remember English.
I never collected any Japanese as a kid.
See,
like the odd person would have Japanese.
Yeah, but I didn't collect it. I think I just went to like markets and people
it just
had,
appeared.
but they probably were fake cards. But yeah, so there was a point where I stopped, probably when like PlayStation 2s came out or like consoles, and I started getting involved.
Got distracted by everything else that was going on.
Exactly. So that's probably when I stopped collecting. But then for me, the way I came back into it was 2016, Pokemon Go. Probably one of the funnest summers I've ever had.
Pokemon Go was 10
out of 10. It was like the World Cup or the Euros. I think it was the World Cup. Pokemon Go. I'd go to London with a load of YouTubers and just try and catch every single Pokemon. And then Evolutions came out. I remember I went to a gaming event of, I think it was Insomnia 54, 55 or 53. And they had the Generation collection boxes. The Charizard, the Venusaur and the Blastoise. There was a Pikachu, but I don't think they had it. I bought them. I opened these up and I was like, oh my God, like, why did I stop collecting? Like, that's how I got back into it. But I will say, it was very casually. I would buy stuff every now and then. I bought a few boxes. I decided to keep sealed, like the Mew Generations, the 2 or 3 pack ones. And then I'd open up Evolutions. But I'd say 2018, just before, it was Unbroken Bonds is when that set came out, is when I really was like, do you know what?
Get back into it.
I've missed opening up Pokemon. I then did a video with Randolph on his channel and my channel. And I was speaking to him and I was like, yo, I'd love to be able to just do a channel on Pokemon. And he was starting his channel just at the time. And he was like, just do it, man. And I was like, do you know what? I might do it. So I started doing it casually. And then I'd say end of 2019, just before the pandemic basically happened and lockdown, is when I really took it seriously. And yeah, I've always loved making content, and I just wanted to fuse two passions of together, YouTube and Pokemon together.
Yeah.
And where you're coming in from like a TCG side of you want to make your own store, like that's a goal for you. For me, it was more the entertainment. So I look at the likes of Leonhardt, Unlisted Leaf, Randolph, PokeRev. I love that kind of community that they've built together, and I hope to be able to do that for myself and build like we are. We're building a great community.
Doing at the moment.
And yeah, that's the one thing I like. But saying that, it's also led me down becoming friends with you into spaces of I never in my mind or never imagined me having a store or a website, but I now have a website where, just like you, people can purchase packs. Like, that was never a goal of mine, but I just love where the journey's taking me. Sort of, I'm kind of like free throwing it, just going with the flow.
Where it goes.
Yeah, and I'm happy with it.
That's that saying going where like free flowing or whatever. Everyone always says to me, so like, how did you plan to do A, B, and C? I was like, I didn't plan any of this. Like, I started the Instagram and thought I would just show off what I had been collecting, what I had managed to get together over like the past few years. And then it kind of took off a bit from there. And to begin with, I wasn't overly active on Instagram. I would post every few days maybe. And then I sort of decided, right, I'm going to put a bit more effort into it. Then decided to start the YouTube channel. And like you said, didn't dream of having a website or this whole thing. When I first started the YouTube channel, I think my first video was a mystery box, and I was so nervous. I was sitting on the floor in my spare room. I was like, I don't know how to film this. I had like my phone out. Whereas you had come from YouTube. This was all foreign to me, like everything. And then I remember after a few videos, people were like, why don't you do like box breaks and like pack openings? I was like, no, I'm not doing a live video. Like, there's no way. And now that has become like the main backbone of my channel is box breaks, pack openings, and that's where the whole community has come from. Whereas if you're just doing pre-recorded, which is fine, like Leonhardt has built what he's built, but he used to live stream a lot more than he rarely does now. I feel like I wouldn't have the community like you guys that watch and that we interact with so much if I just did pre-recorded videos.
No, definitely.
Like, I feel like the streams, like, you just connect with people more.
100%. Like, I started doing pre-recordeds this year. I've done a lot more box breaks, and like you said, you build a lot more of a community or a personal touch by
it's a personal thing.
Like by getting to know the people in the chat. Like, we know the likes of Neil, X-Ray, Umber and Hunter, Mr. Meme. Like, there's so many cool people. I know there's so many more, and I'm sorry that I haven't said any more names, but there are just so many cool people that we've met through this community by the live streams. Like, maybe we wouldn't have that close relationship like we do from a pre-recorded. But yeah, I like the both. like you said, I do love the live streams. I love the live stream as well because we get that like close contact. But then also with recorded, you can kind of have a little bit more creative freedom to do other stuff. Because
and I think like you can get straight to the point on, because obviously a live stream, it's going to go on for a few hours, where a pre-recorded you can be like, so we're doing this topic, and you can make it 8-10 minutes, however long you want to make it, but you can get to the point and make it enjoyable for people to watch, because there will be people that watch the streams and after 3 hours they're like, right, I've had enough now. Like,
exactly. Like some people might even be like, I don't have an hour or 2 to 3 hours. I mean, sometimes 5 hours. Like we've done a gym box break. By the way, we probably should note that this is currently 1:30 in the morning. We have just finished opening up a first edition gym challenge box break
right here
on my channel, which was the first of a WotC box on my channel. And we just gone straight into it and decided to record the first episode. So if we look a bit
tired and I've got bags under my eyes.
We were having a bit of a mental breakdown before we hit record.
Before we started, I looked at Dean, burst out laughing. I was like, I'm not going to be able to sit here for an hour and do the introduction to our podcast and people take me seriously. But we got to be honest, this is how it's...
It's literally how it is. I mean, if you've been in our streams, like even happened, if you haven't, go watch the gym box break, because
it was great.
It was a firebox. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. But also, we had a meltdown moment at least 3 times in that, where we just burst out laughing. And it's probably going to happen in the podcast episodes as well at some point. So just expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected
yeah, literally.
Is the best thing to say there, I think.
So, yeah, that is a little intro, I guess, to the podcast. Like I said, the main thing we want to call this is the #1 podcast for the collectors.
Yeah.
We want this to be a go-to place for you guys, for us, where we can give our opinions, aspects, whatever, on the community and the hobby that we love. I mean, we both absolutely love Pokemon, and we know that you guys do who are watching. So hopefully this is a place where you guys can get involved as well. So leave comments on stuff you wish us to talk about in future episodes, and just get involved with each other. Like, we hope that you guys can communicate within each other in the comment section, and just kind of bounce off each other as well, because like we said, we want this to be a space where we can all just kind of talk about stuff where we don't usually get to talk about it with similar and like-minded people. So that's the intro. If you are enjoying it so far, be sure to leave a like. Hopefully at some point as well, these will become like audio only. So if you're going out for a run, I know my New Year's resolution is to get more exercise in my life and stuff. So hopefully at some point this will be on all like streaming platforms such as Spotify and stuff like that. But we should probably talk about boxes. We have a lot of WotC boxes.
We do.
I mean, if it wasn't for Chloe, I never would have imagined opening some of these boxes. Like, as you know, we've done a lot of collabs and box breaks together. We've done a base set. We've done Fossil. I think that was the first one we did.
Fossil was the first one we did. Then we did Base and Gym Heroes on the same night.
Yep.
And then what else have we done?
I think we've done Gym Heroes. I think that's it. I don't think we...
And then we did
Team
Supreme Victors.
Yeah, but that's not WotC.
No.
So in terms of WotC,
about WotC, okay, yeah.
So in terms of WotC, we've done Base, Fossil,
and both gyms.
And both gyms
were first edition, because my one was first edition, so yours,
And I mean, we've had some. I mean, in Blastoise, we got the stage era Blastoise. Fossil, I think we just got some really, really cool pulls.
Fossil was a while ago now.
I feel like we got some. I don't think we got the Dragonite, but we got some.
We didn't.
Some
I've
good
never
pulls.
pulled the Dragonite.
But today, we just recorded the gym challenge box, and it was an unbelievable box.
It was. I mean, when you start and you like, there was a few like packs where we had a bit of a dry run without holos, and then someone in the chat put, this is everything you've pulled, and it was like 8 hits, and I was like, we've actually done really, really well. Like,
but it wasn't even the amount of pulls. Like, obviously, we were hoping it to be an error box. You always are, where there's more pulls than expected. But the pulls we were getting, we got the Giovanni's and Misty's Gyarados.
Yeah.
We
started off with the Giovanni's
first pack was
Gyarados,
the Giovanni's Gyarados, and actually we don't want to give it away too much, but there were some absolutely incredible pulls. I will say we did get the main hitter of the box, if you know what that is, which was absolutely insane. Didn't think it'd be in that box, so very happy with that. But
we've had some insane luck recently on our box breaks.
Our luck has been absolutely incredible. But I would say, out of all the boxes we've done, which has probably been your favorite so far?
Just WotC or any of
just WotC's.
Oh, okay.
Were you going to say Supreme Victors? Yeah, I thought you were.
I think out of the ones we've done, I would probably say the box we did today. The reason being, because when we did the base and the gym heroes, they were the box breaks on my channel.
Yeah.
And we didn't open all the packs.
Yeah.
So when I started doing box breaks on my channel, I gave the option of sealed packs and open packs, just because a lot of people were sealed collectors. And I thought, I was a very small channel. It was all very new. And I thought that was the best way to get as many people involved. And so we only opened half the base box and half the heroes box. So I feel like there could have been so much more in there that we didn't even know was in there, which is fine. Like, that's not a problem. But I feel like I don't think I could do a box break now and offered seal packs. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's when you're doing it, especially for the content as well, it's just so much more enjoyable.
Exactly.
And you just, that possibility of getting, the best hit.
Well,
like you said,
you don't know. Like, we did half of the base set box. For all we know, one of the seal packs could have had the Charizard in, and that would be amazing content for your channel or whoever's channel it's on.
But also the person who's packing.
The person who's packing and the people watching, they want to see a Charizard, and if unfortunately it's in the sealed pack, you're not going to see that. So,
and I think out of all the sealed packs that I've sold from my box breaks, I think like a handful of people have opened.
Really?
I don't think I know. Maybe
no one's messaged you saying I got the Charizard
off the top, not from the base break. No. The fossil, I've seen a couple of people open up and show what they got, but the base break,
no. Yeah. See, that was my initial worry with the first edition gym challenge box, is because this was my first ever WotC box. Like, I would say the main people watching my channel, they're not used to the high end WotC vintage expensive packs. Like, we open up modern. We've got Evolving Skies, for instance. We're doing a box breaks on Tuesday. So I was very, very nervous with the fact that I don't know if people would be able to afford this, because I don't feel like I have the viewers that are used to the high-end stuff. So I did take a gamble with the whole, I'm going to make every pack have to be open, because personally for me, and I think this is where you're doing it from the aspect of a store kind of thing, where you want to give the people the option of having it sealed and you want to sell and whatever. Where for me, I was like, I want it for the entertainment. I want people to enjoy us potentially pulling that first edition Charizard, which I'm not giving away, might have happened.
Because it's huge.
Exactly. So I was very nervous in the sense that, one, I don't know if people are going to want to, I have the viewers that are going to want to buy these packs.
Yeah.
And then two, have I got enough people that are going to want to have them open, sort of thing. So very lucky and very glad that there was enough people to get involved with it, and that we did manage to sell it out. And I'm just very grateful that was happening, because I would say base, for going back to the question of which was the favorite one, base was absolutely incredible, because both of us, we grew up in it. I think if you're a Gen 1 lover, or you started Pokemon when it first came out,
base is always going to be fun.
Base is always going to be that set where it just brings the most nostalgia. So for me, I think it's between these two, because like you mentioned, we got to open up every single pack. This one could have been a Charizard, we wouldn't know. But at the same time, I just love opening base set. But we did get, I think this was the best box.
Yeah.
This was the most nostalgia. So
it was enjoyable.
Exactly. So there's both of them. But I guess we've actually, in 2021, opened a lot of WotC boxes. We've opened a lot of sets.
Jungle was my first ever WotC break that I did on my channel. Then we did Fossil.
Yep.
Then we did Base and Heroes. Then I did a Neo Rev box for Halloween, which was the most stupid box I've ever opened. Well, I say that, and Supreme Victors was just as crazy. Neo Rev on Halloween, and then I did Team Rocket at the end of November. So I've opened.
You've opened a
fair
lot,
bit.
Yeah.
And I think I think the Jungle break was like in June time.
I think it was.
So, so over like a 6-month period, we've opened a lot of stuff, and then we've done Supreme Victors. I've done Arceus, and I think that's every bigger box.
I'm trying to remember if there was one more. I feel like there was one more.
Maybe there was one more. I can't remember off the top of my head now. But I mean, in general, it's been and we've done like you say, I open lots of modern as well. Like, my channel is not just. I wish I wish I could do a lot more than I do, but I do modern, everything from Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, whatever's just come out. Evolutions, we've both done quite a bit of.
Yep.
And then mid-era as well, obviously, like the platinum. I really want to do a Secret Wonders.
Oh yeah, that'd be
coming. It's coming. I just need to get the box for a reasonable price. I do lots of modern, and like you say, worrying about selling things out. Like, the majority of people who watch my channel are the ones who buy into the modern breaks and all of that. So again, I feel like there is specific people who only get involved in the vintage. They never get involved in anything else. And then I forget they're there, and then they pop up again. So like, there are people that are still there in the background, but they just wait until it's what they want, basically.
And we've heard that from people where they're just not interested in modern, which
at all, which is fine.
Yeah, it's definitely fine. But I feel like the reason that is because, and this is another aspect from me, because I play the TCG a bit. I'm not going to say I'm like a hardcore player or anything, but I play the TCG. I grew up playing all the games as well. I don't know if you played like the Game Boy games,
when I was a kid, but yeah.
So that's probably why you love Gen 1 as well, as much as me. We grew up on these games, and I definitely feel, and I'm sure there's a lot of you guys in the comment section who are watching as well, the games help you feel and get that connection to the Pokemon. For instance, I don't know much about the Black and White era, the X and Y era, that is because I never played the games. But I do have a connection to the Sword and Shield era because I played Pokemon Sword. And just by playing that game, I know all the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
Majority.
Yeah. And I can appreciate them because I've played and I've used them in the game. And just by doing that, you get that close relationship. And I feel like the people who just buy vintage might be a little bit older. Well, they're obviously going to be a little bit older because they grew up on vintage, but they probably don't have the time or just don't have the interest of playing the games anymore, which doesn't help create that relationship with the newer Pokemon, because you just see it and you go, what the hell's a Sandygast? Which obviously Charizard is a much better Pokemon and cooler Pokemon than Sandygast, but I definitely feel like those are the people that might be a reason why people who only stick to vintage. So yeah, I mean, like you said, we both do modern. We're trying to get more into vintage. Like, I never in a million years thought in 2021 I would be opening some WotC box. Like, it was a dream, and it just shows that how cool this, like, just the hobby is just, you can just, it just lets you take you on a wild ride, and I can't wait to see where 2022 takes us. And speaking of, would there be a dream box? You mentioned Secret Wonders.
Yeah, so Secret Wonders is a box I love the set. I've got the master set. I know you have too. And yeah, I love Secret Wonders. I think it's a little bit underappreciated. I feel like not enough people jump on it, but then that's fine, guys. Don't jump on it. Don't make it any more expensive. I love Secret Wonders. Really want to open that. It's a box that a lot of people on the channel have asked for as well, because I always ask for suggestions. However, the ultimate dream box,
I feel like I know what this is,
would be a Skyridge box.
Anthony.
Now, Skyridge, I'd want a sealed one in my collection before I opened one. The actual booster box itself is one of the most stunning booster boxes ever. I did own a legendary collection box, which is like one of my grail items. However, I've gone into detail on my channel why I let that go, etc. And I've always said I'm going to get one back in the future. That's not the end of me and my legendary collection booster box. Again, I'd love to break a legendary box, but I'd want sealed ones, and then I'd want ones. They're very expensive, and I can't just be going out.
It's actually
popping one in the sealed collection and then getting one to open and selling out a box break like that. I don't even know how you do it.
I was about to say that
would be impossible.
That's one of them ones where you're like, I don't know if I could do it.
I don't know if 3 people would buy a pack, let alone 36.
Exactly, but no, Skyridge, I'm definitely on board with you. With that. I definitely want to know why you want to do it, because I was very much an advocate of Skyridge as the best E-Series set. However, when you took me on that journey to go pick up an Aquapolis and Expedition set, when actually looking at it in person, this is just my personal opinion, I definitely feel out of the 3, Expedition is the best set.
Right,
the artwork on that set is absolutely incredible. I do agree with you in that the actual box itself is probably the best
looking out of the 3.
I think it is actually the best looking booster box out of any booster box of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe base, but I'm just being a little bit biased with that. But Skyridge, I definitely hear it. But I don't know if it would be mine. I don't even know what my favorite one would be.
I mean, the dream would be, and I've mentioned it in the stream before as a complete joke if I won the lottery, a triple box break in all the E-Series. So, yeah.
That'd be.
But I mean, I'd need a significant chunk of money laying around to do that. But I mean, could you imagine being able to be like, and like not even selling the pack, like just opening the boxes, like.
I think for me, I don't even know. I literally don't even know what I would go for right now. I think I have a goal of wanting to do base set this year. So if I can do that, that would be the dream. But I'm going to take that out of consideration just because I feel like I'm going to do it.
Okay. So something like a little bit more. Yeah.
Expedition would be great. I don't know. I actually don't know. Expedition, I feel like at the moment Expedition, or maybe like open up a box and there be an error in it, like maybe Black Triangle error, or obviously first edition base set would be absolutely incredible. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I definitely think Skyridge would be sick, and it is definitely on my list of top like box of like a dream box to break.
But you prefer some of the other E-series over?
Yeah, I think it might be Expedition.
Yeah. And that's fine. If Legendary, you prefer the artwork, like Legendary Collection is a sensitive subject because people hate it or they love it. Like
it's like Marmite.
Yeah. And a lot of people. I mean, opening a Legendary box just for if you're selling people packs, you know, those reverse hollows. They are hard to get in a PSA 10. So, like, you know, those people who are buying one pack and wishing for a miracle. Yeah. Like, the print lines can be challenging sometimes. Not just with Legendary, with lots of other sets.
Unforgiven.
But, yeah, I feel like if I just had the capital to just have a Legendary box lying around and then being able to crack one open, I'd do it more for the fun of it than being too worried about what the cards are going to come out like.
I actually don't know. Like, I'm actually thinking about this question on my dream box, and I just...
It's like getting to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe Skyridge would be good, to be fair. Like, I might have to join you on that one. Expedition. I think...
Maybe that's a subject we can, like, come back to in a couple of weeks and then see if it's changed at all.
But with Expedition, I'm more thinking about it for me. Like, not doing a box break.
Oh, right, yeah, because you want to like, keep the cards for yourself.
Yeah. So, in terms of, like, epicness... Don't know. Maybe you guys let us know in the comment section.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
If there was a box you could open and do a box break, let us know what that would be. If it's for you or for other people as well. So, I don't know. Maybe like you said, come back to it and we can recap. We can
touch base on that.
Yeah, literally. Okay. Well, speaking of boxes and WotC boxes and stuff, I feel like this is a cool segue into something that's pretty relevant right now and that's been happening. And there's a lot of heat talk, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's a lot of chatter going around. And that is, if you haven't noticed or if you haven't heard of, Logan Paul has recently bought a first edition base set sealed case. Is that base set booster box sealed case?
Yeah.
We're going with that, which is, if you don't know, a case contains 6 booster boxes and they would have 6 first edition booster boxes of base set.
Within that case,
which would singularly or one box goes for between I don't know. Is it 300 to 400?
North of $400,000, I think.
Yeah. So one box goes for 400K. We'll say there's probably actual figures. Yeah, roughly. So he bought the case for $3.5 million, which in my books, for one single product, must be the most expensive Pokemon product of all time so far.
The thought of spending $3.5 million. I mean, if you have it and it's loose change, good luck to you. I wish I was you. No, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. One booster box on its own goes for an awful lot of money. Like, you know, you open that case, you have still got plenty sitting, you know.
Wait. We're also forgetting he already owns 5.
Oh yeah, that's like a whole different subject. This isn't like a first time purchase for him. He owns because again, if 11. You haven't followed him, he's done 2 first edition box breaks.
Oh
already.
Yeah, so how many would he have now? He'd have 10. Yeah, because he had 6.
I can't remember.
He had 6, and
but he comes out in the video carrying all his loose ones.
Yeah, so I believe he has 10 now.
And we've both done a reaction video to that clip of him buying the $3.5 million box. Yeah, it's not like he's never owned a first edition box before. He owns a handful of them. He's done a couple of first edition breaks on YouTube, and he did one on Whatnot on Christmas Day, I believe.
Yeah, gave the whole...
But the whole thing was a giveaway, wasn't it?
Every pack. Crazy.
Whereas before, you bid on the packs and however he did it, and they went for a lot of money. So yeah, he's spent a lot of money on this, a lot of money. And obviously when it came out, it was, oh my God. And now it's been out for a couple of weeks. There's been a few videos appearing and posts, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want to, whatever social platform you use, questioning the authenticity of the box. Now I've watched some of those videos and read those posts. I'm sure you've watched them too.
I've watched a few, but I feel like I'm not up to date probably as much as you are. Now from what I've heard is that there's chatter saying that there is potential reasons for this case to be fake. Now, the only thing I noticed when watching a video, because there was one big video going around. I can't remember who the YouTuber was that did it. It was like 42 minutes long. And says many points. I've seen a lot of people like Pokemon Radar, someone else you mentioned, I can't remember the name, has started posting on Instagram just linking the video.
I saw people put it on their stories, linking, and I think that's where I think I saw on someone's story first, and that's what made me click it and then go to it.
Yeah,
because I've seen a few posts about it, and I kind of wasn't really
sure if it was just
because there's always a lot of drama on Instagram. Whenever anything happens, I feel like there's always drama in the community, and I try and sort of not read too much into it. But I saw a few people start putting on their story, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to click it and watch it.
Yeah, so from what I heard, I only managed to watch, I think it was actually Kanto's video, which was about 8 minutes long, and he was saying some points for the box. Apparently the barcode on it was not, because I believe Gary Pokemon has a sealed case, right?
Which was opened to guarantee, to obviously confirm authenticity and then sealed back up. And
the barcode on that box was different to the one on Logan Paul's. It has like a 1E added to it or something. Yeah,
there's some
which
numbers and details.
Which doesn't line up to being correct of what should be on that box. So that was one thing I noticed. The other thing is we should probably talk about the company that actually authorized the authenticated the box.
Baseball card. This might not be exact. Baseball card exchange. I think it might be baseball something. I might not have it exact there. So yeah, obviously, I don't know if you've seen the video of Logan showing the case and talking to the guy who he bought it off, but you can see on the actual box where it's been wrapped by this company, because they've authenticated it, their stamp is sort of all over it and it's their logo. Yep. So obviously I think on my reaction video I did a clip and you can see it, and obviously I'm sure you did as well, and I think if you go on his Instagram you'll be able to see and check them out. So there's a lot in the video I watched on YouTube. There's a lot of I don't even know what you call evidence. I don't know if that's the right word. There's a lot of information, shall we say, that's sort of come out and people have dug into with regards to this company, people who work there, etc., and whether they're trustworthy, and what people's opinions are. Like, don't forget, like the item in question, it is a huge item. And it's not something that everyone comes across and knows the details.
There's only been one.
To be able to put yourself forward and say that you can 100% authenticate this item, that's a huge deal. Like, I don't care how much you own with regards to vintage Pokemon, how long you've been in the hobby, like, to be able to be 100% confident without opening it,
exactly,
because the whole point is it's a sealed case, to come forward and be 100% like, I am 100% confident that this is ABC. It doesn't even have to be in Pokemon, in any like hobby or just anything, to be, you put yourself forward to be like, I'm 100%.
And I think the only way you could say, yeah, I'm happy, this is 100% it, is if that, and if it was coming from the company of Z box
Wizards
products.
Of the Coast.
Yeah, so if it was Wizard of the Coast, if someone said, or Wizard of the Coast, the company said, we have a sealed box of first edition.
We found one in a cupboard. It's been sitting there for a while.
That's when you go, do you know what? Yeah, I absolutely trust that because it's coming straight from the source. If it's ever had an owner, that's when you genuinely don't know.
Anything can happen, no matter how good anything looks. So I just think, like, if people watch this, like I said, like you said, there's a few different videos now. It's that they sort of break it down into so many different parts.
Feels like a crime documentary on Netflix.
It is. I think it's more in depth than some murder investigations I've watched, and I love a true crime program. Any recommendations, pop them in the comments. No, it's very broken down, and like, I've read the comments on the actual video and I've read people's comments on it. People are very split opinions. Some people say that's absolute rubbish. it's this, and some people say, well, I don't believe you, and it's that. And I think at the end of the day, if it was me personally and I was involved in this entire situation and I was Logan and I had bought the box, I would open it.
Yeah,
I know it's a lot of money, and the whole point is that the value was, part of it being a seal case. I'm not being funny. At the end of the day, if there is that much controversy about it, no one is ever gonna. I don't know if he would ever want to sell it on if he's bought it for that purpose. Yeah. If he's bought it just to keep it, but there is no other way around it. I can't.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
the feeling. I would rather the feeling of opening it and being relief that there is and 6 boxes in there than a year, 2 years, 6 months, 6 weeks down the line, opening that box and seeing 6 bricks in there or whatever,
or 6 base unlimited.
Yeah, or just seeing just not what you had bought. So
the whole point is that they're first edition. So
maybe let us know in the comment section down below. If you had that seal case, would you open it, or would you be comfortable with the thought that it might be fake? And I think is Logan going, or someone's going out to fly?
I saw a post, I can't remember who it was definitely on Instagram, and it was a screenshot of something. I think it was a few screenshots, and it was again, don't quote me on this, do not come for me, do not chop my head off. It said something on the lines of the Logan and the guy he bought it off of, because the guy he bought it off of only purchased it not that long ago for around 1.5 million, I think.
2.8.
Was it 2.8? I thought it was 1.5. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh wait, sorry. The only 2.8 I heard is the person who got it before Logan bought it for 2.8.
Okay, maybe my figures are wrong on that. But yeah, so the person that Logan bought it off of, who is in the video that's in both our reaction videos, and Logan apparently are going to, I don't know, get together. And I thought I saw they were going to go to the baseball card exchange place, if that's what they're called. And this whole thing was going to be either they're going to open the box and resolve it. Again, literally I've seen a screenshot of like someone putting on a post. So if that is the case, it'd be very interesting to see that. At the end of the day, I personally think that is probably the only way all of this is going to go away. They're either 6 first edition boxes and he's still not going to be poor because of it, because they are still worth a lot of money. Like, don't get me wrong, he spent an awful lot of money in the case. He might lose a bit here and there. But if there's 6 first edition base boxes, legitimate, authentic base boxes in there, then he still has a lot of money in front of him. If there's 6 base unlimited boxes, I don't know. I don't know what happens. Well,
there's 2 things, right? So
there's a long line of people and transactions.
Yeah, but the company that authenticated it, like, does their reputation go down the gutter now, because they authenticated it as a first edition sealed booster box?
And I don't know what's in their fine print and what their terms and conditions are, but again, this video that's going into this whole palaver, shall we call it,
going down a rabbit hole.
There's a lot about what their T's and C's are and all that jazz. So again, I don't know where it leaves that company. I don't know where it leaves the people who help facilitate the going all the way back to wherever the box came from, etc. Again, it's all in that video. And there's a lot of conflicting stories about a lot of it.
The origin. Origin.
I can't even speak. The origin of where, the person who was originally selling it got it from. There's a lot to the story, and I feel like there's almost too much to the story, and it just needs to. Everyone who is actually involved, the people who have been part of the transaction, part of the deal, the buyers, the sellers, all need to sit down and
work it out.
I just think the more people create videos on it, the more people put posts on social media on it. It's like Chinese whispers. The story is then going to change very slightly each time. Yeah. And then we're all going to be reading different versions, and no one's going to know the truth. At the end of the day, is it any of our business? No. But it was all put out there, publicly, the whole thing. So everyone wants to know now. And in this hobby, when there's something big like that, everyone's curious. Had they kept the whole thing private, we wouldn't know any different. But I think the fact that it was announced he'd made this purchase and there was the videos and a little bit behind it, I think with all the controversy that's now surrounding it, I just think to shut a lot of people up, just tell us what's going on with it. So whether it gets opened or not, I don't know.
And the other thing is, like, even if you just open it, check, close it and seal it back up. In my opinion, like, does that really lose that much value? Because you're not you're not taking the boxes out. You're not going to be like damaging the cards or whatever the box is. You're literally lifting a lid and seeing if it is, well, I guess you would have to take the box out to see if they are first edition.
I suppose, yeah, it's going to be more then sort of coming to the conclusion, you know, if it does visibly look like there's first edition boxes in there, are they authentic? You know, I think it can start to go on a bit of a spiral. But I mean, if it does turn out there is 6 first edition authentic boxes in there, everyone's happy. Yeah. Everything's fine.
How much value do you think
all the controversy has gone away?
But how much value do you think just it being a sealed case brings to, rather than 6 separate boxes?
I mean,
it must more be kind of just the whole, not bragging rights, but like the rarity of this only being the one of the latest ones that have come up. There isn't that many about, like, so I don't know, maybe
I don't know, because like obviously first edition base boxes, they're not exactly going down in I know it, like, considering everything that's happened in Pokemon over the past couple of years, you know, it absolutely exploding, going through the roof, and then it's starting to go on quite a rapid decline, and there's still a lot of things that are dropping. Some things hold, some things go, like in any market, things go up and down, left, right and centre, but the boxes aren't exactly halving in, you know. It's not like panic stations, like, oh my god, base boxes are only worth 100 grand, they're depleting. Like, from what I can see, they're still steadily going up.
And what I was going to say is that literally the case, it has that stigma to it now of it might not be real, it might be fake.
I mean, if like, it was never opened,
like how do you know? Is that going to be like, okay, this is going to be expensive because it's it's a sealed booster box case, but it's also, you don't know if it is a guaranteed one.
And the problem with that case now, obviously it's been wrapped by this company for the authentication purposes, whatever, like, unless you know all of that was, I don't know how easy that would be to remove, etc. Like, obviously it's visibly, that is that case, you're always going to know it's that case. So yeah, I feel like the only way that this is going to come to any sort of a close or conclusion, and everyone is going to be satisfied, and all the FBI detective episodes are going to stop coming out on YouTube, is when it gets open, and maybe it's filmed, whether they're going to obviously whether they'll do that for their own security, and whether they'll put that video out, I don't know. Like I said, I've seen quite a few posts saying that's going to happen, but whether that's gospel or not, I don't know. But I just think
it needs to happen.
It's been a lot, and I think the last couple of days it kind of really has sort of blown up a bit. And everyone's that's Frank, by the way, guys, in the background.
You heard a scurry. That is just
don't worry, I haven't got like rats running around in here.
But maybe that's a future episode we talk about. I
think we can revisit this.
Well, yeah, definitely this topic in general, but also if anyone is looking to buy, even if it's modern, vintage or whatever, you always have to take the precautionary steps into making sure you trust the seller, you've done your research on that product you're trying to buy, because there are fakes out there. There are fake, for instance, I swear, like Evolutions is like one of the most faked printed boxes out there. I see them all the time.
So many people have done videos on it as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was really funny you saying that. For Christmas, my father-in-law, because my husband collects Pokemon as well. If he didn't, I don't know if he'd still be with me, because I have so much stuff. Anyway, my father-in-law gave us these little envelopes each. We were like, I don't know what these are, and I could feel like they had booster packs in them, and I was like, where the hell would he have got? Anyway,
probably in your garage.
He had bought fake Battle Stars packs from
the
Spanish market. But what was even funnier, the booster packs were Spanish, but the cards inside were English. So like nothing aligned with each other. But like that whole fake, there is fake of it. They were glaringly fake.
Yeah.
But, I think Rev, Pokenav, and a couple of other people have done videos on all the fake Evolutions boxes, because they've been flooding the market recently.
And I think we saw recently a load from China were coming to England that actually got incepted. So yeah, maybe that's a future episode where we kind of talk about things to look out for. If you'd like to hear about that, maybe let us know. And
maybe if we come across any, we can like keep them to the side so we can show you guys.
Because it is very, very easy to be misled and be sold something that actually isn't what it is.
It's happened to me before. I bought some Supreme Victors packs, I think it was, I'm 100% sure it was, and with the intention of doing a video opening them for YouTube, because I don't know, like a while ago on my channel I've opened Secret Wonders, Arceus, etc. And the person I'd bought them from, I'm pretty sure I'd bought other stuff from, so that the person wasn't sketchy. It's more where they had got them from. Anyway, I bought them and sat down to do my video, started opening one, and as soon as I opened it, like,
you just
something
felt it.
didn't feel right, and I looked at the cards, I was like, oh God. And when I say there was a mix of cards in there, I don't even know what era they were attempting to be from, but it was tragic. Anyway, I got a full refund. The whole thing was sorted, and because I'd done it on video, obviously they could see that I hadn't sat there, and you know, it was what it was. But there's fakes everywhere.
But even that though, like, you were lucky to get a refund because
because
essentially
disappeared.
the person who sold it has lost out because they're not going to get a refund from the person they bought it from. So it's like, you just have to be lucky that the person who you bought off of, if they don't know it's actually fake, because there's two types of sellers, right? Someone who's selling fake and they know it's fake, or there's 100%. Someone that has sold something that's fake that and they had no idea.
In like a bad situation,
So it's not as easy as you may think to buy certain stuff. Obviously, with new modern products, it's a lot more easy to get because you can buy from your retail stores, it's
everywhere. Really.
But there is also fakes for those as well. I didn't even know there was fake battle styles. Like that's
and
news
they were like
to me.
Spanish, but they weren't Spanish, which is even funnier.
Yeah, so that's absolutely crazy. So yeah, if you'd like to see that, let us know in the comment section. We'd be happy to maybe give some advice, or
we can definitely do more on that.
Our experience, I guess, is of the best way of saying it, of like what we've experienced in terms of fakes. And then also just like other stuff you'd like to hear in this podcast. The studio is definitely going to be evolving at some point. We're going to have some new stuff in here. So
it looks very blank behind. Obviously, we've got our lovely sign, but it looks very blank. And in one of because we've been streaming from this studio just so we could announce it on both our channels, and someone said like it looks like we're being held hostage and we're in a room, you know, where like, they hold up a newspaper like with today's date, like
just blinking.
So we basically, it's taken a long time to put all of this together. Like, this idea has been something we've wanted to do for a while. We then kind of started putting the idea to paper, sort of getting everything going. Then we sort of went ahead and made the big decision, got the actual studio and stuff, started getting all our equipment, everything. It's not something that we just sort of overnight, we're like, oh, just give it a go. Like, we've put a lot into this, and we're really hoping you guys enjoy it. Like I said, we wanted to... It's ready, but there's a few finishing touches, etc.
I think timing's been more of the thing, that obstacle.
Yeah, and COVID hasn't like, things have been very up and down with COVID, and everything's been a little bit more delayed than we'd originally hoped, but we're here now.
Yeah, we're here.
We've made it.
It's currently 2 a.m. in the morning. We've literally been going for ages.
Oh, I mean, my goodness.
We didn't think we would be recording an episode this late, but you know what? It's been absolutely so much fun doing it.
It has. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to sit here.
If I could show you guys, I wish we could have a clip where Chloe literally looked at me and just had her eyes closed for I looked at Chloe, sorry. She had her eyes closed for like 5 seconds.
We were kind of discussing what we're going to talk about, and I was just like...
I was like, oh my God, I'm about to do a podcast by myself. But no, it's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of plans for 2022 on the podcast, which we cannot wait to bring you guys along with. Yeah. I'm genuinely excited for this.
I am.
This is like this is a really cool thing for us to do. That is still to do with something we love, but it's also a lot different to what we do in terms of programming.
like we said, we don't really get the opportunity to just sit there and chat and go off topic, because I think when you're streaming, you kind of need to be, when you're opening packs, you need to be relevant to what you're doing. You can't just start going too much off on a tangent, because people are there at the end of the day to watch you open the packs and talk about the set, etc. that you're opening. If you start talking about something that happened 10 years ago when you were collecting, they'll be like, hold on a minute, I'm not interested in that.
Open the pack, man.
So the podcast is an opportunity for us to talk about current trends, any suggestions that you guys want to send in, like we say on our own channels. Tell us what box breaks you want. Tell us what you want to talk about on here. Another thing that's really exciting about the podcast, we will be having guests on.
Yes.
So that's kind of like a big part of it. We are going to be having some guests on the podcast, so we're looking forward to that. And again, you can send us in suggestions of who you want us to have on within reason, because we're not going to be able to get all the weird and wonderful people you'd probably like us to have on, but we'll do our best at getting getting some people on here. And yeah, we are also going to do some live episodes as well, but we're going to give you more details about that as it goes. Like we said, this is the first episode. We're finding our feet. We're kind of putting ourselves out there, introducing ourselves. This is who we are. You know, doing a bit of, you know, current trend, hot topic discussion. But yeah, just sort of letting you guys know who we are, what we do, etc.
Yeah.
And then as the podcast sort of grows and develops, obviously we'll get more comfortable with everything.
And a little add on to the guests. Obviously, we're both from the UK. If you have a guest in mind that isn't or is from the UK, it doesn't have to be
that's fine,
from England. Like, if there's someone from America you'd like us to try and get on the episode,
virtual.
Yeah, we'll try and get them on. Because essentially we want to try and also bridge the gap between the UK and the US. The US has a massive community, and we have a really
very
good one.
good at doing stuff with each other in the context. A few of them have podcasts. I've been on the Pokey Tea Time podcast. Shout out to Yizzy and Shiv, and they get loads of guests on, and there's like, I just feel like there's a lot more collaboration.
I feel like
whereas
we
in
could.
The UK, we're a bit stale.
I feel like just the UK, we do our thing when we don't have to. We can kind of bring more people together.
Everyone together. Yeah.
So hopefully that will be a cool thing. Like, if you watch just mainly UK people, it might broaden your horizons and you can get to know some US people. Same vice versa. If you don't watch UK people, there might be some UK YouTubers or PokeTubers.
Bring some of you over this way.
Yeah, that you might enjoy watching. So yeah, I think in terms of the first episode, I think that's enough stuff to cover.
Yeah,
hopefully you have enjoyed it.
I think we've introduced ourselves, obviously spoken about some drama that's been going on in the last couple of weeks. And just telling you guys what we're about, what our kind of plans are with everything. And like we said, suggestions, send them in. Make sure you're following the Instagram, because we'll be active on Instagram. Also, we have a TikTok account as well,
and we have separate channels as well.
Oh yeah, I think we should. Yeah, mate, we haven't just come out of the blue and just been like, we're doing a Pokemon podcast. We've made up name. No, so obviously Dean, Pokey Dean on YouTube. We'll link that in the description. I'm Pokey Chloe on YouTube, and same again on Instagram for both of us. So definitely. That is like actually who we are as individuals, and we decided to come together and do this. We've done a lot of collabs with each other in the past, which is, again, we've become really good friends this past year. And that's another reason, like, talking about bringing, you know, over the pond together, and even just in the UK, like, there are people who would, you know, meet one another and probably become really good friends through a lot of it, whereas a lot of people don't know each other.
But not even YouTubers. Like, we know a lot of people, for instance, Cass and Jammer. Like, one lives in the UK, one lives in America, and they just get on like a house on fire. They're just like two peas in a pod.
And then we've got Woody in Australia. Mr.
Kanzume.
Yeah, we've got like literally, like everyone all over the place. But like, I feel like that's where we've built really strong communities. Well, I say we've built them. I feel like they've built themselves. Everyone in the community is the reason why they're all in it. Everyone always says, "Oh, you know, you've got such a nice community," and it's because everyone who's in it, not just because of me. It's everyone coming together. So,
and if you are new, we want to get to know you as well.
Yeah.
So if you are new,
and maybe have a few of you on here at some point.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like, maybe see your collection, see some of your goals and stuff like that. I don't know.
Interview a few guests.
There's just so much stuff we can do with this podcast, and we hope that you guys enjoy the journey and the route we take. We don't know where it's going to go.
We don't know what route it is, whether it's up, down, backwards.
But we're going to have fun with it. So yeah, that is very much the end of the first episode. But do not go anywhere, because we want to give a little thank you. If you've made it this far, we are actually giving away, hopefully you can see this properly.
Yeah.
We are giving away this Pikachu V-Union box from Celebration. So inside you get the 4 V-Union cards as well as a jumbo. There's also some Celebration packs and 2 normal boosters as well. So all you have to do, I don't know, I'm trying not to hide my face. Might put it, hold on.
Yeah, put it there.
Put it like that. There we go. So all you have to do to win this box right here is comment anything in the comment section. It could be something to do with what we spoke about in today's podcast.
Could just be an emoji.
Yeah, it could be an emoji. Like the video and be sure to subscribe as well. And we will pick a We'll pick a winner for the next episode, and we'll send this out to you as a thank you for making it this far into the podcast. So that is going to wrap up the video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I've been Pokey Dean.
I have been Pokey Chloe.
This has been the Pokey Podcast, the #1 podcast for the collectors, and we will catch you in the next video. Until then, we are out.